Hello everyone, welcome to Crypto News. Today is September 10th, 2025, and the top cryptocurrency news is as follows. We will start today's episode with ETFs, starting with spot Bitcoin ETFs. On September 8th, we had inflows of $364 million, while on September 9th, without BlackRock, we had outflows of $146 million. But the situation is much worse in Ethereum ETFs, where we have seen outflows in the last 6 days. On September 9th, without BlackRock, everything else had not moved at all, and we can say that in the last 6 days, spot Ethereum ETFs have seen outflows of $1 billion. I also want to talk to you about ETFs and the fact that the SEC postponed its decisions on the Bitwise ETF for Dogecoin and the Grayscale ETF for Hedera until November 12th. So as we said, by the end of the year, we will see all of this approved. Moving on to businesses, we go to ARK Invest, where we learned that it bought $4.4 million worth of Bitmine shares. It is as if ARK Invest is investing in Ethereum, because this company only buys Ethereum. Meanwhile, Sharplink Gaming believes that its stock is worth a lot. For this reason, it continues to buy its stock and has bought $1.5 billion worth of shares. Moving on to other companies that have been booming in the last few hours, we look at CaliberCos, whose stock rose by 2,500% after announcing that it bought Chainlink to create its own reserve. We do not know the amount the company invested, but its share is currently up by 323%. Another company that made announcements is QMMM Holdings, whose shares rose more than 2,300% after the company announced that it would create a digital asset fund worth $100 million in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Let's note that this was just an announcement. It has not yet started trading. However, its shares have increased and are currently up 1,700%. From our companies, we move on to investments. Hyperliquid has reached a new all-time high of $55.04. The reason is the same as we mentioned in previous episodes. Everyone wants to make their own stablecoin, and 2 new players have entered the game. One is Sky, formerly MakerDAO, which has submitted its own proposal. Its proposal states that if selected, it will issue the USDh stablecoin, which will be based on its $8 billion balance sheet. In addition, it will offer a 4.85% yield on all USDh issued on Hyperliquid. Beyond that, we move on to Ethena, which has also submitted its own proposal. The well-known Ethena has committed, if selected, to return 95% of the proceeds from the assets to the Hyperliquid community and implement insurance through a select network of friendly validators. The protocol has also promised to cover the cost of migrating Hyperliquid's markets from USDC to USDH and has committed at least $75 million in incentives for the ecosystem, an amount that it said could reach $150 million. So everyone is betting on Hyperliquid, as you can see. As I talked about Ethena, we will turn to their own stablecoin, USDE, which you can now find everywhere on Binance, as it has achieved full integration. The platform now has USDE and Binance Earn, insurance, and generally across the platform. Continuing with our coins, we will turn to Ripple, which has made another great partnership with a bank. We will turn to the Spanish banking giant, as the article mentions, called BBVA, which is introducing an insurance service for digital assets, thus expanding Ripple's institutional custody platform in Spain. This gives the bank the tools to securely store and manage currencies and tokenized assets. This all started as the bank had already launched a custody service for Bitcoin and Ethereum in Spain. Bank customers can now buy, sell, and own the 2 major digital assets directly through the bank's mobile app. XRP is sure to follow soon, and there will be more cryptocurrency support. For the last part of our update, we'll be looking at Truth Social, one of Mr. Trump's companies. Truth Social users now have the ability, if they sign up for the premium version of the platform called Truth Plus, to acquire so-called Truth Gems. You can earn these Truth Gems based on various activities you do on the platform. The new product that was launched allows you to convert these gems into Cronos, the cryptocurrency of Crypto.com. For this very reason, Cronos has seen a sudden peak, so we see strong support from Mr. Trump for the cryptocurrency Cronos. Now, it's time to go to our favorite cryptocurrency market, with Bitcoin sitting at $111,000. Price is waiting for a few things. First, today on the 10th, we are expecting the PPI numbers, and tomorrow on the 11th, we are expecting the CPI numbers. These two, as you know, are important indicators to see how the US economy is doing based on inflation. Once those numbers come out, in 7 days from now, the Fed will announce interest rates. We know that there will definitely be a rate cut by 25 or 50 basis points. But perhaps the most important thing is whether the Fed will confirm that new money will be printed and enter the market. That will begin the altcoin season, which I know you are all waiting for. That wraps up the top news for crypto today is September 10th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care everyone, and have a good day.